Hey, it's Kevin here. Welcome back to the pasthisprime YouTube channel, and welcome to another channel update. So, I've had a request for an update, and it probably is time for an update, so we're going to do one. They did also request a bit of a walkthrough of my setup. I'm not going to do that in this video. I will think about that for another video. I just need to work out how I want to actually present that. So I thought I'd just give you the update as it is. So let's talk about the games on the channel. All right, so currently we have Warhammer 40k Battle Sector, which we are moving through. Pretty good, I think. We're rapidly getting through it. I'm not sure how long it goes for. I never really looked that up or anything like that. And enjoying it. Hopefully you're enjoying it as well. There are some hints of some DLCs and stuff for this that I have seen around. I'm not sure what they entail. I've seen new characters, that sort of stuff, so I'm not sure if they're really going to have an impact on my game if I only stick to the story mode. It may be more multiplayer, that sort of stuff, but we'll see when they come out if there's something worth getting and that's going to add more videos to the content. We'll see how we go. On the Warhammer theme, Warhammer 40k Gladius Relics of War was put on pause, as you may be aware, to play Battle Sector, and I had to bring it out of pause because they released the DLC for the Adeptus Mechanicus. I didn't know about it, I wasn't expecting it. I just heard it announced in a live update from, I think it was Slytherin or whoever. And yeah, so we're playing through that now and enjoying it, doing the quest mode, that sort of thing. We'll probably play a few goes through on that, and we'll see where we go with Gladius Relics of War, whether it hangs around permanently again, or whether I put it on pause for a period of time and come back and on and off as I go. We'll just keep an eye and see how it goes. So, you know, let me know what your thoughts are on any of these games as well, because your opinions obviously matter to what hangs around and what sort of comes and goes and what stops indefinitely. You know, we'll see how we go there. So Jurassic World Evolution 2, obviously that came out, you know, recently, and we've been playing the campaign mode for that. So I'm not sure if the videos have been released, but I have finished playing the campaign mode. We're up to Chaos mode, so I'm sort of, even though I sort of batched recorded campaign mode because I was so excited to play it, I have held off and I haven't done any of the Chaos mode. I'm waiting to do that more, not live, but more closer to releasing of each video. I'm going to try out Chaos mode. So I'm enjoying the game. It's visually stunning. Absolutely loving it. And, you know, but there's a few things about it that I'm not sure yet. We'll see how we go further down the track. I'm hoping that Chaos mode and things like that are going to bring out some more of the content, because the campaign did not have any aquatic stuff in it whatsoever, and it only briefly touched on the actual you know, aviary side of things. So it was what I considered to be a very large tutorial. That's what it seemed to be. So I'm hoping that the actual real meat to the game is in the Chaos mode. For me personally, if the meat of the game is in sandbox, I'm probably not going to be overly impressed, because I'm not a big sandbox person. I prefer a story, I prefer campaigns, I prefer a purpose. I'm not very imaginative, I'm not very design orientated when it comes to sandbox type stuff, so that's why I don't really get much out of it, but we will see. So hopefully we'll have a bit more content on that game, and I'm hoping that it's gonna have a fair few videos in it before we run out of ideas. But if you do want to see anything in that game, yeah, feel free to put it in the comments as well, and I'll see if it's worth doing or not. Okay, we've got Surviving Mars, which I am continuing to work through, and you we're doing the campaign now, which we're getting close to probably finishing all the milestones and probably getting the planet terraformed and everything else, and maybe working underground. We'll see how we go there. Then I'll have to make some decisions about what I want to do with that game. I want to continue playing it, but I'll have to look at, do we just do another campaign? Do I look at the challenges? I am intrigued to look at the challenges, so we may actually look at those. But again, if there's something specific you want to see in that, let me know. But I will be continuing that one for now, because I am enjoying it. And similar vein here, Surviving the Aftermath, that got a full release done. So if you've jumped on board for that, fantastic. We're playing through that at the moment, and I'd already been playing that campaign from early release. So that continued on, which was great, and we're getting into the end game story and all of that was added into it. Really enjoying that. So we're obviously going to play through that, get to the end of that one, and then I will be continuing to play through campaigns and seeing what DLCs they offer up as we go, because we have been promised DLCs, as I've already paid for the expansion pack, which is supposed to give me 3 DLCs. So it's when they arrive, that's going to be the ultimate challenge. But we are far from having made ourselves bored with this game playing through. So I will be playing more campaigns and that sort of stuff, and exploring more things and trying various other tactics, techniques, all that sort of stuff out as we go. But we're going to obviously get through our first one and finish the end game and enjoy that story and everything else before we move on to anything else with that game. So as for changes or improvements to the channel, obviously we've got the green screen, face cam setup going now. So hopefully that's adding to the content and you're enjoying that and enjoying seeing my face on every video as we play. Hopefully it's being done at a good quality and you're happy with it and everything else. I've added some extra options in the descriptions of every video. You probably heard me say it. Just if you do want to support the channel, it just allows me to work more and more on the channel. Grab more games and grab more gear or any improvements, that sort of stuff. And, potentially just spend more and more time on the channel if I get some more, I guess, let's put it bluntly, financial assistance. So I put some options there. Before I was just offering this virtual coffee site where you could go and just do a one-off sort of fee to buy me a coffee, which it's not necessary. It's not actually a coffee. It's just a virtual concept. It's more of a donation than anything. But I've added a Patreon page there now, which is, if you know anything about Patreon, that is more of a monthly subscription type thing where you sign up and you regularly. I've got very small dollar values in there, and there's I think 3 tiers I've set up. One is just a basic supporter where you just support the channel. There's no rewards or anything like that. Then there's another tier up there above that, which I think I'm trying to go off the top of my memory here. I think that gets you to be listed at the end credit sort of thing of the videos in that month that you are a supporter, or what, I don't know what Patreon call them. And then there's another tier above that where I think you get that, plus you can also get characters or buildings or whatever else, whatever's nameable in a game. Randomly I will pick people from that membership and use their names in the game. So if any of that interests you and you do have the money to support the channel, check out that Patreon page. But as I've always said, it would be nice to be getting money financially for this channel, but ultimately I started this channel for fun, and if that's the way it's got to continue, that's the way it continues. And I'm happy that you are just here watching the videos, so don't feel pressured, don't feel obliged or anything like that. You are quite welcome. Everybody is welcome here, whether they are supporting the channel with money or they're just enjoying the content. ask that if you do enjoy the content, that you subscribe to the channel, or you know, give the old like, thumbs up thing on YouTube, that sort of stuff, just so that everybody else can see that the stuff's good and you're enjoying it, and it promotes it to everybody else. And you know, and as I said, put comments below every video if you so choose to get conversation started with me, and ideas and thoughts and all that sort of stuff. So at the time of recording this, we are, I think we're over 400 subscribers. We're probably about 420, something like that. I mean, it changes daily, so really happy about that. Looking forward to hopefully getting over the 500, and then, you know, sky's the limit. Keep pushing forward. You know, next target would be, you know, whatever it is. You know, every 100 we get on is fantastic. Getting it up to 1,000 subscribers would suddenly take the channel into the realms of getting the YouTube partnership. So that would mean that potentially I could monetize the channel, monetize the content, and start getting a trickle of money come in from YouTube. Not a massive amount, let's not kid ourselves, it would be a trickle of money, but it's all good progress. So, you know, if you haven't subscribed, do please consider that. But I'm not, also note, I'm not begging for subscribers. Don't go out and get any people just to randomly subscribe. I want the subscribers to be real. I want the channel to be as real as possible. So, you know, I don't want just fake subscribers. I prefer that, you know, I prefer to have a smaller amount of subscribers, but they're real, than a ton of subscribers that are all fake, don't exist, and are going to get cut off by YouTube anyway, and then suddenly my numbers crash. So I'm happy to just continue with the low numbers if that's what it is, but if it is actually becoming more popular and the real subscriber count is growing, then fantastic. I'll be really happy and really proud of that. So video length is something that I always struggle with on this channel. The games I play, really, the video lengths are hard to keep very low. You know, when you add an introduction and an end, and then you put the content in the middle, if you make the videos too short, you end up with no content, and who wants to watch that? You know, when it comes to things like tips and tutorials, right, you can usually keep those fairly short, but since pretty much most of my content is sort of let's play, it's hard to keep them short. So I'm trying to target them to about 30 minutes. Usually they go over a little bit. A lot of my older videos were quite longer than that, you know, hour or more. So, you know, you can let me know your thoughts on it, but really probably at this stage I can't see myself getting them any shorter. So I know some people aren't real happy about that and they prefer shorter videos, but I just can't see the content being worth watching if it's any shorter than that, because, you know, as I said, if I did a 15-minute video, by the time I do the intro, the outro, and then I click a few buttons, the video's over and you'll have seen nothing. So, you know, I'm sort of aiming around half an hour, and I think that's probably where we're going to be sticking to going forward. That might change on different games, you know, if a different game suits a different time scale or something like that, then fine. But for most of the games I play, 30 minutes to 40, etc. is going to be probably where we're going to sit each video. I mentioned in a previous video that VR content will probably, you know, probably stop. Now that is sort of true, but also not. At the moment, there really isn't anything jumping out at me in VR that I want to record. So, you know, if there is a massive release, something that's really exciting me, something that I really want to do, then I will potentially think about recording it and adding it to the channel. But other than that, you know, VR for me is just something entertaining. It's very hard to record. It's very hard to do right. It can be a little bit uncomfortable to do it in a weird sort of way, because, you know, you get distractions, interruptions, things go wrong, headset goes flat, all this sort of stuff can be a real nightmare trying to record. It's so much easier to record just general PC stuff than it is that. But if something does jump out, or if you want to make a suggestion for a VR game that you would like to see on the channel, do put it in there. But as I said, it's not really going to be a main focus on the channel. It's just going to be, you know, little bits and pieces as we go here and there if I see something interesting that I want to record. All right, and then the last part here is game suggestions. Okay, I'm always looking for game suggestions, and as I say, I'm not going to play every game suggestion, but I will look at every game suggestion, and you know, I'm hoping that people will sort of see the games that I play, the styles that I like, and that sort of thing, and can guide, you know, throw out ideas in that same sort of vein. That doesn't mean just limit yourself to those either. You can throw any sort of game up there that you think is interesting, that you'd like to see on the channel. It can be just something totally different whatsoever, because these are not the only games I play, right? I play other games as well. It's just that they don't always come on the channel. So do feel free to put game suggestions in there. Now, one game that I have just finished, I'm not sure it's finished on the videos on the channel, but I have finished, is Battlestar Galactica Deadlock. Finished the last DLC last night, actually. At the time of recording this, it was the night before that I finished it. So I'm looking at filling in a slot there. Now, there's a couple of options there, right? So we could fill in a slot and add another game. I could double down on another game, but the problem is, what I'm worried about is, like, you know, you might say, hey, double down on Jurassic World Evolution 2. I'm worried that if I double down on that and add more videos per week, that we're going to finish the game a lot quicker, and I don't really want to finish it a lot quicker. I'd like to keep it slow and steady and you know, create some longevity out of it to a point. If we go too hard, too fast, I think I'm just going to run out of ideas, and I'm going to basically shut it down, and then I'm going to run out of games to play. The other option is that, as I said, you guys make suggestions, give me some ideas of new games. I do have a list of some old games and some games that I have purchased, and some that are just in my wish list that I could throw out there. And what I might do is I will actually put a list up of that in a minute. And what I'd like you to do is pick a game and put it in the comments from the list that I provide, and I will see everybody's opinions. I'll see what people vote for, sort of thing, and then I'll take my thoughts, and then I'll decide what game to put in there, because I would like to add another game in there, and I have a few games that I want to play. Ideally on the channel we would play all brand new release games, but the reality is that I don't always find brand new games, and there's still old games that I would like to play. So I'm open to any sort of thing like that. You know, it doesn't have to always be new. There are new games in my wish list, but most of them are looking at like 2022 release at the moment. So I think there'll be some big stuff coming out next year. Doesn't seem to be anything massive coming, you know, anymore this year. You know, we're in December now, so I mean, there may be stuff, but I really doubt it. All right, so the games that I have either in my wish list or have already purchased that are in my my library that I have not played are, and I'll have to read them because I don't remember them off by heart. We have, it's another Warhammer game actually. It is Battlefleet Gothic Armada, so it's a space, it's Armada 2 I think it is. Another space style ship battle type scenario thing. We've got Darkest Dungeon. Now this is number 1. I got it on sale. Okay, it's not Darkest Dungeon 2. I am intrigued by Darkest Dungeon 2. I'd like to get it, but I got number 1 on sale and I never played that, so I am intrigued to look at that. That's sort of like a, I don't know if it's games, card, is a card style game. It's not really card style, but I don't know. You'd have to look it up. I can't even explain what it is, but it looks really interesting. We've got Frostpunk, right? I've got Frostpunk and I think all the DLCs. That one really does look interesting, but it is another survival game, okay? And it is all about that punk vibe look, you know, the metal punk type stuff. And in a frozen wasteland, you know, devastation, you know, it's sort of like surviving aftermath type situation, right? So that would be another one of those on the channel, but it is something that I did get on sale and I would love to play. And one that I haven't purchased, which really does intrigue me, but it looks very complicated, is called Gloomhaven, which is a card-based game. Looks like a very complicated card-based game, and it looks really good, really interesting, really potentially fun, but I haven't played it. I don't even own it yet. I would be tempted to buy it if everyone wants to see it on the channel, and so let me know on that one. Alternatively, there's two other games that I have, and I have played on the channel before, that I could come back to. One is Timberborn. So that's the little city builder for beavers, and the other one is Planet Zoo. Now, I don't have all the DLCs, but I do have Planet Zoo, so we could come back to Planet Zoo. Now, the reason that those two games I'm suggesting or putting up there is because, you know, I have played them, I have enjoyed them. The reason they're not being played actively now is because both of those games are very much sandboxy style. Timberborn is very much sandboxy style, and it is sort of still early release, so there's lots of new things coming out with it. So that could be something I could delay until we get sort of later release, a lot more features come in, that sort of thing. But you know, it's interesting, but then again, it's one of those games that I like playing when I'm playing it, but then I can also get bored very easily because you're just doing the same thing over and over again. You're growing the city for really no apparent reason whatsoever. There's no story, there's no point to it, there's no missions, there's nothing, you're just building it. Now, Planet Zoo, similar thing. You are running a zoo, obviously, or running multiple zoos. There is some challenge modes there, but I think I finished most of them other than the timed ones. I didn't like the timed ones. And, you know, building your own zoo, while fun and interesting, I think I got turned off it a little bit because I watched some other YouTube channels where they were extremely good at designing zoos, designing all the parts around it, and what I did was very basic, very plonk it down, look after the animals, that sort of thing. And again, other than trying to get your zoo efficient, making money, putting new animals in and designing things, I didn't see a purpose or a point to it, and I guess I just got sort of bored with trying to use my own imagination. But there are options there. Now, if you do want to see those two videos or those two games back, anything that is sandboxy, I will need you to help me. I will need you to help me to come up with ideas. I will need you to give me a purpose, to give me a mission, all that sort of stuff. Because if the game doesn't give it to me, then I need other people to give it to me if I'm going to be able to play the game. Right, so I hopefully will have a list now, or I'll have a list at the end of the video with those games listed. Let me know your preferences. You can give me a 1, 2, 3 in order. You can give me 1, you can give me 2, whatever you want, or you could say, I don't want to see any of those, I want to see this game. But obviously keep in mind that I may not like the game that you pick. So then your vote would go to nothing. Right, so I'm going to take those ideas, and if I don't get any opinion from anybody at all, then I guess I'll just use my own judgment, and I will pick one of those games at random myself, and I'll just say which one I want to do, and I'll just go with it. So let me know in the comments, and we'll see what comes of it. All right, so I think that's enough talk about the channel. Hopefully that's given you enough update or anything else like that. As usual, you know, if you want to support the channel and let it help it grow financially, that sort of thing, and gear and games, check the description below. There is the link to the Patreon page, as I mentioned, and the link to the virtual coffee site. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down. And if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, consider subscribing. It helps the channel grow, helps YouTube promote it, all that sort of good stuff. And most importantly, leave a comment below. Okay, you know, give me your game suggestions. Give me your feedback on my thoughts, ideas, channel improvements, anything else. And most importantly, let me know which game you want added in. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I read all the comments and answer every comment that wants an answer as soon as I possibly can. Hopefully you have enjoyed the video. I mean, it's only an update. Don't know how much you can enjoy it. Hopefully you enjoy my channel. Thank you for watching, and I will catch you in the next one.